Well, there is very little to cheer about in Foxborough this season. The same in Cincinnati. The Bengals roll in at 2-8. The Patriots at 2-8. And hi, everybody. I'm Craig Buller-Jack along with Charles Mann. One story today, quarterbacks, and Cincinnati's made a change.
Yeah, Dick LeBeau feels like Scott Mitchell gives his team the best chance at winning, and it gives Achilles Smith a chance to sit back and reflect on his season.
No change in New England. Drew Bledsoe will play today. Their concern, though, is his right throwing hand.
And that's what Drew Bledsoe's concern is, his throwing hand. He injured his thumb 2 weeks ago. His accuracy is a little off, but at 80%, he's better than a lot of quarterbacks in the National Football League.
It's Cincinnati and New England. CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League will continue after this word from your local station. While America anticipates the selection of its next president, we turn our attention to the Cincinnati Bengals, who have elected a new leader. Scott Mitchell was voted into office this week after an unsuccessful term by Achilles Smith. Welcome back to Foxborough Stadium, Foxborough, Massachusetts, Cincinnati and New England. The Patriots won the toss and chose to receive. And to kick off will be Neil Rackers, a rookie from Illinois. And back deep to receive is Kevin Falk and Tony Carter. Now New England comes in at 2-8. And the Cincinnati Bengals at 2-8. New England lost their first 4. Cincinnati off to a rough start, losing their first 6. And today it's all about emotion. Both coaches demanding that from their teams. And Rackers has it teed up and ready to go. At the 3-yard line, Falk up the middle, and Falk taken down to the 29-yard line.
Out near his 30-yard line.
Well, Bill Belichick, first year, longtime assistant to Bill Parcells, and as I mentioned, looking for more emotion from this team. Last week, very disappointed in that loss to Cleveland. Injury. You saw the season's numbers, 1,910 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 8 interceptions. Bledsoe, hands off, left tackle. Patrick Pass gets the start at running back today to the 30-yard line. John Copeland made the tackle. We check offensively for New England. It's Armstrong, Andruzzi, Woody, Isaiah, and Grant Williams. Backs and receivers. Pass gets the start. J.R. Redmond out. Tony Carter at fullback. And the wideouts Glenn and Brown and the tight end Rutledge. A pickup of 2. Second down 8. Bledsoe. Again, simple handoff to the 36-yard line. And once again, the ball carrier Patrick Pass, a rookie out of Georgia, will set the defense of Cincinnati. It's Booker, Gibson, Copeland, and Michael Bankston up front. And the linebackers of Foley, Spearman, and Takeo Spikes, a former first-rounder. And the secondary, Robert Bean will get the start at left corner. Williams and Carter, the free safeties. Play action. Bledsoe throws out of bounds. Now, is that the thumb or just a bad pass?
You know, when you're trying to roll to the right and throw to the right, as you see Bledsoe, he's upset with himself. He had a man wide open down the field. And that part of that is just getting comfortable and getting set in the offense. And that's why we saw 2 back-to-back running plays.
3 up, 3 down. Punting situation for Lee Johnson. 16-year pro out of Brigham Young. Craig Yeast back to receive for Cincinnati. A lot of kicks in that left foot of Lee Johnson. Yeast settles underneath at the 15. Flags are down. Yeast taken down by the shoulder pad around the 29, and that's where a flag is at. Bucky Jones made the tackle.
34 to Bucky Jones. There is a flag on the play.
49-yard kick and a 15-yard return. Holding the call, Bernie Kukar, our referee this afternoon.
Holding 27 of the return team during the run back. That's a 10-yard penalty, first down.
Well, Dick LeBeau took over September 25th for Bruce Coslett. And like Belichick, Charles, he wants discipline. He wants discipline with this football team in Cincinnati. And the quarterback, Scott Mitchell, 11-year pro out of Utah, has made stops in Miami, Detroit, and Baltimore. You know what he told us? He came to Cincinnati to restart the career. He gets his chance today and opens up with a throw near sideline and is caught down at the 35-yard line. And it's Craig Yeast. 20-yard pickup as we set the Bengal offense. Up front, Jones, O'Dwyer, Braham, Goff, and the right tackle, Willie Anderson. Backs and receivers, Corey Dillon, Nick Williams at fullback this afternoon, Warwick, Yeast, and the tight end, Tony McGee. Mitchell stands up in that pocket, throws, connects. Danny Farmer. So Cincinnati, Charles, comes out throwing back-to-back first downs for Mitchell, who gets a start today for Akili Smith. And Corey Dillon gets the carry up to the 46-yard line, knocked down by Bobby Hamilton. How about Corey Dillon? What a great year, 4.8 yard per average, and of course still so many folks talking about that 278-yard run performance against Denver back in late October.
You know, he told us last night that he wants more balance in the offense. Don't just hand him the football over and over again with 8 and 10 men in the box.
He might have to get used to it today because he gets a second back-to-back carry to the 42-yard line. Mitchell again on a stop. Corey Dillon out of Washington, second round draft pick back in '97. He's a durable, just a prototype halfback at 6'1", 225. Third down and 2 for Mitchell and the Bengals. Warwick in motion. Mitchell, the left-hander, rolling to his left, throws incomplete. Yeast, the intended receiver. That brings up fourth down for Cincinnati.
You know, you need 2 yards, third down. You got a great running back in Corey Dillon, and you roll out and pass the ball. Makes you wonder a little bit about the play selection, but I believe that right now the key is to get Scott Mitchell in some kind of a rhythm, get him comfortable.
Pope gets the kick away. Nice high hanger. Another flag comes out, takes a bounce and into the end zone. 42-yard boot, but a flag down at the 22-yard line.
You know, Daniel Pope was in a little altercation before the game started. Threw a football at Larry Wiggum.
I don't think, you know what, Charles? I think both coaches are fine with that. They're looking for emotion from both the Patriots and the Bengals.
Holding 31 of the return team. By rule, because of the touchback, we'll move it back 10 yards to the 10. First down.
You know, Teddy Bruschi told us he was the lowest point of his career last week. We'll take a break. Scoreless in Foxborough. We'll be back. Oh, we talked about Bruce Armstrong being durable, the left tackle for the Patriots. How about Bledsoe? In his career, Charles only missed 6 games because of injury. And a lot of talk about the thumb, but he told us, you know what, my philosophy, if I can play and be effective, I'm going to be there.
And I think that's important for your quarterback. And it would be easy for Bledsoe to say, hey, we're 2-8, I'm bailing.
Well, he missed his first pass, comes back on the second offensive series and connects around the 21-yard line. Rod Heath made the tackle. Terry Glenn. First down for the Patriots. Look at Terry Glenn, 5-year pro out of Ohio State, a former #1 rounder back in '96. I would think for Bledsoe, it's going to take a couple of series in this. It's not frigid by any means. Just chilly here in Foxborough, just to warm up. Hand off to Patrick Pass. Loose ball. Let's see if the whistle had blown. They'll mark him down at the 33-yard line. Chris Carter, the strong safety, made the tackle. And that's Patrick Pax, Charles. You know, Kevin Falk not playing, or J.R. Redmond not playing. Kevin Falk having the fumbleitis. Patrick Pass only 1 carry coming into today.
And, you know, that shows the confidence that this Patriots team have in their young running backs in Patrick Pass. It was interesting as we saw the replay there. what you saw again and what's been the Achilles heel of the Cincinnati Bengals defense is missed tackles.
Pass grinds to the 38, and Spearman made the tackle. Pass just 22 years old out of Georgia. 7th rounder.
Well, you know, they don't always get it right. First rounders end up on the bench, and 7th rounders end up playing because they have more heart. And that can't be measured a lot of times by the things they have you do, running and jumping and those sorts of things.
4 carries, 23 yards. Bledsoe back to the air, but flags are down. The catch by Glenn, and Bean chased him out. There's 2 flags on the far side and 1 to the near side.
Looked like defensive offsides to me, and if it was...
Offside, 96 defense. Penalty is declined. First down.
Yeah, you get a free play. You see there, top of your screen, Vaughn Booker jumps. And a good job by the Patriots offense continuing to run their play. They don't stop.
You never jumped off sides once, did you?
Every time I did seem like I was jumping, I was pointing at the offensive lineman.
1st and 10, New England from the 45. 3-step drop to the sideline. Nice grab by Glenn. So right now it's Bledsoe and Terry Glenn teaming up for 3 receptions on this drive. 9:20 and counting left here in Foxborough first quarter.
And you see the rookie Robert Bean, number 49, given way too much space to Terry Glenn, and that play will be open all day unless Bean gets up and jams him. You see how far number 49 is away from Terry Glenn there.
Patriots mixing the pass and run very well as passes taken down by Carter. Glenn, by the way, with 3 catches from Bledsoe for 27 yards. You talked about Robert Bean gets the start. His last start being a rookie was against Clemson in the Peach Bowl. And
pretty big game.
Yeah, and the nerves this week, I can just imagine.
Yeah, you know, he told us that he gets real excited, and Takeo Spikes is always there to tell him to calm down, settle down, you're all right. And I think for this kid, this is a great start for him. It'll be a great opportunity going against last week.
Double tight set. Bledsoe looks like when he stepped back from center was stepped on.
Right.
And went down at the 49 of Cincinnati.
What happens there is there have been some fumbled exchanges. And so on the fumbled exchange, the quarterbacks tend to pull out too soon. And this was a product right here of pulling out too late. The offensive lineman, Joe Andruzzi right here, right there. You see his foot as they're doing a slide protection. This trips Bledsoe up.
2nd down and 14. Bledsoe stands up, going deep ball. As a man along the far side, incomplete, and it was Terry Glenn. Bledsoe, you can see very not frustrated. I think, again, trying to have control of that thumb. Has velocity on the football, but how about control?
And look at Bean's coverage here and how much space he's giving. But on a play like this, a go route, he makes up the difference right there, and a good play and keeping Terry Glenn out of the middle of the field and running him out of bounds. They're going to attack Robert Bean. Bledsoe said, hey, he's a young guy. We've got to test him, and we'll test him early.
Well, the Cowboys attacked Tom Carter last week, and one reason why he's not getting the start today was beaten several times. Bledsoe pedals back, trying to set up the screen. He does, and good coverage by Cincinnati. I'll tell you, Takeo Spike stayed home and did a terrific job, and now late flags in.
The referees trying to huddle up and sort it out. Interesting, both of these head coaches.
Pass interference, 81 offense. Penalty is declined, 4th down.
Both of these head coaches are also defensive coordinators, which is kind of interesting. That was Tony Simmons.
Lee Johnson will come in, Charles, for the 2nd time today. You bring up a great point, because Sometimes those offensive coordinators may be a little better with the interviews in the public, persona. But the D coordinators, boy, I tell you, they give you that scowl.
They always have a scowl on their face.
Johnson. Ooh, nice punt. Turns it over. Fair catch by Yeast at the 11-yard line.
At the 11.
38-yard kick by the 38-year-old Lee Johnson. Bengals will have it when we come back. Scoreless in Foxborough. Well, you saw beautiful downtown Boston, and Foxborough Stadium sold out for the 69th consecutive time. Cincinnati with the football. 1st and 10. Mitchell to the sideline, and not much running room after the catch by Peter Warwick, and Ty Law wrapped him up. Scott Mitchell, Charles, is back trying to revive his career. Had a tremendous stay in Detroit off and on. 94 through 98, nearly 13,000 yards, 79 touchdowns, had 57 picks. In 95, 4,300 yards, 32 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, was an NFC Pro Bowl alternate. As Corey Dillon is pushed out of bounds. But Scott Mitchell, he told us that he wasn't done being a starting quarterback. He could have gone to Dallas as a backup. He hired a coach really to come back and help him get flexible and lose some weight.
Right, and he has a home in Michigan. He moved to California for 5 months to work on his flexibility and really try to give himself a big chance. As we see Achilles Smith stand on the sideline, this is an opportunity for Achilles to reflect on what's happened and to see how a veteran does it.
Well, the veteran takes the quick step drop, and Danny Farmer has the football at the 27-yard line. Achilles Smith, I think, too, Charles, I don't know how you think he'll handle this, just a second-year pro out of Oregon, but I don't think Dick LeBeau wants to try to hurt the psyche, but just reflect, absorb. Look what Scott Mitchell, who's been in this league 11 years, does on the football field.
Right, and some of the offense, the Cincinnati Bengals couldn't run because Achilles just wasn't ready for it, whereas now they can open up the offense more. A lot more quick passes, 3-step drop, which we've seen already in the first 2 series that the Bengals had the ball.
Well, Brewski made the tackle at the 30. Mitchell off to a fine start. 4 out of 5 for 50 yards. It's the quick stuff, as you mentioned, Charles. 2 3-step drops, maybe a quick roll to his left, but they like to hit the hot slant.
And the leadership in the huddle. How he gets command of the leadership in the huddle.
Dillon stops and goes, and New England's defense drops him for a 3-yard loss, led by Bobby Hamilton. If you look at Hamilton, 6-year pro out of Southern Mississippi.
Penetration. They know Corey Dillon likes to run the football up the gut, and Bobby Hamilton does a nice job of getting off the tackle and getting penetration behind the line of scrimmage.
3rd down and 11. Mitchell will drop back to the shotgun. 5 minutes left in this scoreless opening quarter. Mitchell looking downfield, sideline, has a man caught and brought in by Yeast. And a 1st down. It will depend on the mark. It's going to be close, around the 38-yard line. Otis Smith, the left corner, made the tackle.
And now you talk about tight coverage right here. Otis Smith has really nice tight coverage. Yeast does a great job of getting separation. Well, actually, Otis Smith slips, so that causes separation, and then fighting for those extra inches to try to get that 1st down. I believe it's a 1st.
Now they're going to have to bring the chains from the far side of the field as Craig Yeast made the catch. How about Otis Smith, 35 years young, still playing that right corner position.
And playing it well, playing it real well. You saw that tight coverage. It's interesting, 10 games in, and Craig Yeast has 13 receptions, now 14, but no touchdowns on his season. No touchdowns. Achilles Smith has not been able to get the ball in their hands and get them in the end zone.
This is a staggering stat. Cincinnati has not thrown a touchdown in 6 games.
Yeah.
Charles, and that equals out to 27 quarters.
Right. It's amazing. And partly they've been able to run the ball with Corey Dillon, and that's been saving them a little bit, but they haven't been able to put points on the board.
This time Brandon Bennett gets the call. Loose football picked up. It's Otis Smith. Otis still rumbling to the 30, on his feet to the 29-yard line. Nick Williams delivered. Looks like he got hit, and Otis Smith picked it up.
And turnovers have been a big key for this Patriots defense. They've gone 4 games without an interception. You need turnovers, especially when you're in games every week like the Patriots have been, but yet not enough plays, not enough big plays to win it. You see where he strips the ball. This is why gang tackles are so important.
That's Lawyer Malloy, 36 with the strip, and Smith recovered. New England will have the football at the 29 when we come back. 4:22 left in this first quarter. And New England, after the recovered fumble, will start at Cincinnati's 29-yard line. 1st and 10. Bledsoe under center. 5-step drop, throws, sideline incomplete. Patrick passed the intended receiver. You can again for the 3rd time, you can see the frustration. Let's go back to New York City for Buffalo and Kansas City. Here's Jim Nance.
Well, Bowler, let me show you what happened on the opening drive of the day. Buffalo goes 71 yards with Rob Johnson now starting for Doug Flutie, and he connects with Eric Moulds for an opening touchdown. Let's go back now to Craig and Charles.
All right, thank you, Jim. Kansas City off early with a nice start, but struggling. It's rare you lose or get behind at Arrowhead. Tough place to play.
Timeout, New England. That's their first charge timeout.
Bledsoe calls timeout. We'll take a break. Scoreless. Back after this. Well, could it be? You never know. Drew Bledsoe, after the timeout, will come out with a 4-wide receiver set, 3 to the far side on 2nd down and 10. Bledsoe, the quick drop, throws underneath, and it's caught by Troy Brown. Spikes made the tackle, and Charles, how about a report card on Robert Bean, who gets a start at left corner?
Well, here he's going to see a double move by Terry Glenn, and it was wide open. You can better believe he's gone back to the huddle and told Bledsoe, hey, look at me here. Look how much space I'm getting with the double move.
I think he looks lost.
Well, sometimes as a young man, as a rookie out there, you can be a little lost.
3rd down and 4. Cincinnati showing blitz. And here they come. Bledsoe hooks up. Nice pass. Troy Brown still dancing, spins inside the 10-yard line to the 7. Tom Carter, who gave up his start to Bean, makes the tackle, number 21 for Cincinnati.
And that was Trail Hawkins not taking care of keeping the wide receiver from coming to the inside on a quick slant. And then the Achilles heel of this Bengals team, especially in the cornerback area, is missed tackles.
Well, there's a timeout, 3:05 left, and the Patriots are knocking on the door. We'll be back. Craig Bowler, Jack Charles man back in Foxborough. You look at New England, Charles, in the red zone. 32 opportunities so far this season. They've come away with 14 touchdowns, 10 field goals. However, they've had 2 turnovers in the last 2 games inside the 20. Bledsoe, the handoff, and inside the 5 rumbles Patrick pass.
Good hard running, following his lead block by the fullback, and just stays active, gives himself a chance to get to the end zone. The young man is doing pretty well.
Number 67 is an eligible receiver. 67.
Over here, guys.
Well, pass, 6 carries, 33 yards. Bledsoe rolls out, throws, tipped, incomplete. In traffic, and Rod Rutledge, the tight end, big 83 at 270 pounds, big target. And again, Bledsoe has velocity, but it looks like just being able to control the football a problem.
Just the accuracy here. Nice play action, looks, rolls right, and has to throw right. And that's when he misses a great star like Ben Coates. He would have brought that in. Big target, 6'6", 270 pounds.
Third down and goal. Hand off up the middle. Touchdown, New England. Tony Carter.
Good hard running, lead play, right up the gut. The key for Tony Carter, he kept his legs moving.
First touchdown of the season for Tony Carter, 7-year pro out of Minnesota. And the extra point to come by Vinatieri. Chip shot up and good. So Tony Carter gives New England a 7-0 lead. Bangs in from the 2-yard line, and we'll be back. Back in Foxborough, Tony Carter's first career touchdown puts New England on top 7-0 over Cincinnati. Vinatieri has it teed up at the 30. Back to receive, Tremaine Mack and Curtis Keaton. On the run at the 13 is Mack up the middle. And Mack tackled down in a pile at the 33-yard line. Let's go back to Jim Nantz in New York for an NFL update. Jim?
All right, Bowler, let me show you the weather again at Lambeau Field. We were talking about it today on the NFL Today. And the Colts, Peyton Manning, it slips out of his hands, falls on it, a safety. Packers lead now 5-0. Let's go back to Craig and Charles.
Oh, Jim, the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field.
And it's frozen. And he's got two good thumbs, and he can't hold on to the football.
Scott Mitchell and the Bengals down a touchdown. They'll go back to the ground. Corey Dillon off the left side. Pick up maybe 3 to the 36. Garrett Johnson, the nose tackle, in on the stop. We'll get live updates for each NFL game as it happens. Just click on live scores at cbs.sportsline.com. Second down and 7. Dillon again. Pops through near a first down at the 43. Larry Malloy in on the stop. Two-time Pro Bowler Lawyer Malloy at the strong safety spot, 98, 99. And Charles, his numbers may just make it 3 in a row with 71 tackles, has a pick.
He leads the team with those 71 tackles. He also has 3 forced fumbles.
Under a minute left in this opening quarter. Mitchell wants the deep ball, throws it up on the run, over the shoulder, and complete. Right on the hands of Craig Yeast, but great coverage again by Otis Smith, the right corner.
You have to have that makeup speed as a cornerback. You can be burnt, or you can get some separation on you right there, as Otis Smith is behind Craig Yeast. But when the ball travels in the air, he has the makeup speed and makes a great play on the ball. A lot of cornerbacks struggle with making a play on the ball. They can have great coverage, but can't jump at the right time.
Second down and 10. Dillon wrapped up, breaks out of the tackle, and leans back to the 47-yard line. 2 yards the hard way. Brewski, who was shaken up earlier, back in for the stop.
And Willie McGinnis had a tackle for a loss, but couldn't wrap up. He's back after straining his calf muscle and was out last week.
Final seconds of this first quarter. Ticking away.
That is the end of the first quarter.
Scott Mitchell will trot off. Bengals trailing New England by 7. We'll be back. Start of the second quarter. with New England on top 7-0. Third down for Cincinnati. Sidearm throw incomplete. And guess who was on coverage? Otis Smith. Right on the back of Danny Farmer. I'd say that was an Otis Smith kind of drive there on the defensive side for New England.
He did a great job of not letting the receiver have the inside to run that quick slant. And he's playing textbook cornerback right now. He's doing everything right.
Daniel Pope, his first punt, covered 42 yards. Another good one. High hang time. Takes a bounce at the 5. Still rolling inside to the 2-yard line. 52 yards. They mark it at the 1, so New England will start backed up. All right, there's the head coach, Bill Belichick. What's a recount, Charles?
Okay.
And here we go. I tell you, the first, look at this. Week 1, Tampa by 5. Jets, week 2 by 1. Miami, week 4 by 7. Colts by 7 in week 8. And Buffalo by 3 in week 10.
It was definitely close.
Oh, does he want James Baker or Warren Christopher? They got their own Chad Eaton. I don't know. To this election process. Craziness.
Hey.
1st and 10. New England from the 1. Bledsoe nearly stumbled. And a good job getting out of the end zone by Tony Carter.
And he almost missed the exchange. Didn't get around quick enough to get the ball to Tony Carter. And Tony Carter did a good job of waiting to make sure he had the ball in his hands before he took off. Bledsoe stumbles, gets the ball up. Very nice job, you're right, of getting out of the end zone. Tony Carter, that would have been 2-point safety.
Hey, Charles, going back to New England and how tough to start. First, they lost their first 4, an average of 5 points. 2nd down and call it 9. Flags, a jump on Cincinnati's left side.
Actually, I believe that was offsides. I mean, illegal procedure.
We'll get the call from Bernie Kukar.
Ball start. 76 offense. Half the distance to the goal. Still 2nd down.
Grant Williams, the right tackle.
Now, how do you measure that off? Half the distance of the goal line. It's probably a penalty of about 6 inches. It won't hurt him too much.
You see there, 19 offensive penalties, fewest in the National Football League.
It's the other penalties on the defense and special teams that have hurt this team.
2nd down and 10. Bledsoe in the end zone. Throws, connects. Far sideline, hooks up with Brown. And a 1st down, and more importantly, it's breathing room for New England at the 25-yard line. Artrell Hawkins made the tackle, a pickup of 24.
And this is a 2-deep zone. Once again, you see the space that Artrell or Rodney Heath gives, and they were in a 2-deep zone, so they're going to give you the short pass and come up and make a tackle on anything underneath.
Brown, 3 catches for 45 yards. Simmons lines up to the near side. 1st down, New England. Bledsoe, play action, let some traffic fly by that he is just sandwiched. Bledsoe dropped at the 18-yard line. Curtis and Spearman.
And Bledsoe held onto this ball just a little bit too long. His first receiver wasn't open. He pulls it down, and then he takes his eyes off of downfield and tries to find a place to land.
Boy, sacks a problem before today. 37 given up by New England. You see Cincinnati, there were 36. Do the math, Charles. That's about 4 per game for New England.
And it'll get your quarterback hurt.
Bledsoe on 2nd down, throws it out to the flat, caught by Pass. Pass turns on the Jets, near a 1st down to the 34-yard line. Rod Heath made the tackle. Boy, for a 7th-round pick out of Georgia, Patrick Pass has been very effective on the offensive side for New England.
And this is a textbook screen offensive linemen out on the break, making blocks down the football field. And Patrick Pass is doing an excellent job running with the football, catching the football. Looks like Rodney Heath is down.
Second-year player out of Minnesota.
It's a tough game for a 5'10", 175-pound man.
There's a timeout. New England up by 7. On the move. We'll be back. Well, coming up on the NASDAQ.com halftime report, Jim, Mike, and Randy, scores and highlights, all the NFL news. That's coming up straight ahead. Reaching for the first down, Carter spikes in on the stop.
And I don't know if he got that first down. You know, they take the measurement where the ball is. His head looked like it got over the 35-yard line, but I don't know if the ball did, and it looks like they're spotting it short.
Grant Williams, number 76, the right tackle, still down at the 35. And with that, we'll take another break. 11:54 left in this second quarter. New England by 7. And back in Foxborough, sellout crowd, but yet I don't know if they're sitting on the hands. I just don't feel much emotion in this building. Lee Johnson into punt for the third time. Craig Yeast back at the 20-yard line.
And all kinds of people moving on that play. At least 3 Bengals jumped.
Well, Patriots are excited because of against Cincinnati. They're looking at fourth and about 2 inches.
I think it was a called hard count by the punt team.
There's Bernie Kukar.
False start. Illegal snap on the center. It's a 5-yard penalty. Still 4th down.
They'll try to draw Cincinnati off for that quick first down when they were looking at 4th and inches. They'll march it back 5.
And that's a smart play. You watch the center right there up. And it's the head fake that they're calling him for. And it's really a little tricky play. You drop your head and then you pop it back up and it makes people move.
Johnson, end over end. No return, and will be down around the 21-yard line. 50-yard kick. Well, Monday on CBS, when Florence Henderson cooks Thanksgiving dinner for the King of Queens. Let me tell you this, it ain't the Brady Bunch. No, sir. Kevin James stars in an all-new King of Queens. That's Monday right here on CBS.
That'll be nice and funny.
I bet you can eat 2 turkeys.
I eat my share.
I bet you do.
Sure do.
Scott Mitchell and company. 1st and 10 from the 21. Sidearm sling connects. And some big yards to the 31-yard line. Peter Warwick. And tackled by Ty Law. So a pickup of 11. And so Cincinnati gets a first down at the 31.
And I would think that the Bengals would want to get Peter Warwick involved into this offense as quickly as they can. He's been a great blocker, but he's had some drop balls, and he has not played up to the expectations so far of at least himself.
Back to the ground. Corey Dillon slices for a few at the 36. A pickup of 5. Greg Spires made the tackle.
You wonder if he's going to be back next year, Corey Dillon.
Well, that's the question in Cincinnati, isn't it?
It's a big question. The sense I got after talking with him last night is, you know, I'm going to listen to all offers, but I want out of Cincinnati.
Little misdirection. Dillon hit at the 40 and pushes to the 41. Malloy again in on the tackle. Well, Corey Dillon, he'll be well pursued. Charles, no question. You talked about, is there loyalty, though, in the National Football League in your day compared to what's happened right now? I mean, is money the single issue?
Money is not the single issue, at least in talking with Corey Dillon. I mean, he wants to be paid, and he believes he should be paid. But he's a little hurt about the way he's been handled over the last year and a half in terms of contract negotiations.
3rd down and 1. High hurdles for the first down to the 45. Oh, what an athletic move.
I wouldn't give him an A for that form on that high hurdle, but I give him an E for effort. Great effort.
First down, Cincinnati at the 46.
And up and over a block.
Brandon Bennett checks in, and he gets the handoff, fresh legs, and he's stacked up near midfield.
And we talked to Corey Dillon about his 278, and you see
Grant Williams
on crutches. Normally they put you on a golf cart, but maybe here they don't have the golf carts that can come out onto the field, and so Grant Williams has to go off on his own.
Gonna do some x-rays. Spinning to the 42-yard line is Bennett. Willie McGinnis in on the stop.
And this is a Grant Williams injury. He got his leg caught underneath the pile.
Oh.
And you can see it right there. And then it's stuck. And he can't get it out. All he can do is lay back and wait for players to unload off of him. And they stayed on him for a long time.
Mitchell throws to the 25, and it's caught and pulled down by Warwick. Ty Law on coverage. Scott Mitchell's put together a couple of nice drives here in this opening half with 8 minutes left.
And you see him rallying the guys, clapping, getting them, trying to get them into this thing, saying, hey, let's stay in this. We have a chance. Let's get Peter Warwick involved in this. Don't use him as a blocker. As you see, 7 plays, 55 yards, and 3.5 minutes used.
Mitchell 7 of 10 for 89 yards. Back to the ground. Dillon breaks a tackle, throws out the stiff arm, and is taken down at the 17-yard line, and trying to pull apart Malloy and Corey Dillon. How strong is Corey Dillon? Look at the guns.
He's pretty strong. I'm impressed with Lawyer Malloy saying, no, you're not going to do me like that. Corey Dillon works to the outside. There's nothing in the middle. He keeps going, keeps his legs moving, stiff arms, and that stiff arm actually went to the face of Lawyer Malloy, and Lawyer Malloy wanted to let him know he didn't appreciate it.
Bengals on the drive at the 15-yard line. Dillon again gets the call. Stacked up maybe a yard to the 14. And guess who? Malloy pushed down the pads one more time.
Oh, yeah. Corey Dillon impresses me. He's a very patient running back. A lot of times holes don't just open right up. You have to wait. You stay behind your blockers. You keep your legs moving. 278 yards rushing. You know, we talked to him about that. He said he didn't really know he had that many yards. He didn't know he was on pace to break the record. He kept looking up on the big screen, and he didn't believe what he had saw.
Missed the first down by the length of the football. You know, by the way, Charles, that jersey and the cleats, Hall of Fame.
Yeah. What an honor.
But I do understand, no way the ball, he's giving the ball up. That's that's probably sitting on the mantle someplace. Third down and less than a yard. 10th play of this drive. Warwick in motion. Handoff, simple, up the middle, first down for Brandon Bennett. Chad Eaton made the stop. And so this drive will continue.
We talked to Takeo Spikes, linebacker for the Bengals, and he talked about players take on the personalities of their head coach. And Koslett really was a very low-keyed, easy-going kind of guy, where Dick LeBeau, he's a tough guy. He's a stud. In fact, Takeo Spikes said, I love that man. There's Takeo.
Well, he was a tough player for 14 years with the Lions as Scott Mitchell pumps, goes to the end zone. Touchdown, Cincinnati. It's Peter Warwick.
And there are flags down on the play, but those flags are going to be against Ty Law. Peter Warwick made some nice moves while the ball was in the air to adjust to Scott Mitchell's pass. And Ty Law walking off, he knows it's probably going to be on him.
And that breaks a streak of 20 8 quarters
Pass interference.
without a touchdown
24
thrown by
defense.
Cincinnati.
Penalty is declined. Touchdown.
And look at the separation, the space there as Peter Warrick. And watch when the ball gets in the air. That's a double move right there. There's a lot of hand checking, but see how he just keeps his eye on the ball. Ty Law never looked back for the ball. He played the man, and it'll be pass interference every time.
Rackers with the extra point and kicks it up and through. Second touchdown of the season for Peter Warrick. And the first touchdown pass for Scott Mitchell since the season opener for Baltimore at St. Louis. We'll be back. Over the shoulder of the rookie from Florida State, Peter Warrick, a 13-yard touchdown reception, his second of the season, and we're tied at 7 here in New England. Rackers to kick. Tony Carter pulls it out of the pile and takes it to the 31-yard line. There is a flag down. Offsides.
Ooh, the dreaded offsides on a kickoff. And what happens is you take it back and you have to kick it all over again. And those guys run 40 or 50 yards down the field.
Offside, 34 of the kicking team. 5-yard penalty, re-kick.
Boy, you do not want to hear the re-kick. A lot of times you won't get the same effort from your kicking team running down, sprinting 50 yards, and in this case, another 55 yards, and then go down and make a play. This is a lot of times what happens in these situations is there's a big return.
Peter Warrick still being congratulated. It's been a long time coming for a touchdown throw in Cincinnati. First touchdown pass the last 143 attempts. And there's Scott Mitchell, who directed that drive, who was 3 for 3 for 41 yards as they moved the ball downfield.
And see, Achilles Smith can look at this. He can watch how Scott Mitchell is moving with the team. You see him going down, congratulating the offensive lineman. He knows where his bread is buttered. Hey, I'm taking care of these big guys. Talking to them, saying, hey, we're in this thing. We can win this football game. We need that kind of effort. Let's keep it going. I mean, you know, you got to almost be a cheerleader, if you will, on the sidelines, trying to make sure you keep, especially with a team 2-8 and really hasn't had any kind of, you know, winning in several years in Cincinnati.
Well, the re-kick from the 25-yard line. Taken at the 20, Kevin Falk. And after all that, maybe about 3 yards after the re-kick is the pickup for New England. Timeout. Warrick doing his dance, and we'll be back. And welcome back to Foxborough. Cincinnati and New England tied up at 7. And coming up next on CBS, it's final round coverage of the Franklin Templeton Shootout from the Doral Country Club. And after 2 rounds, it's Franco and Hope with the 2-shot lead at 16 under par. And that's coming up next here on CBS. 5:43 left in the first half. 1st and 10. New England from their own 33-yard line. Bledsoe pedals back, hands off. And it's Patrick pass. You hear those pads pop, not much, to the 34. Spikes was in on the stop. Takeo Spikes, Charles, 87 tackles, 2 interceptions, and a sack. Those Pro Bowl numbers to you?
He's been very busy. He's been very busy, and there's not a lot of linebackers in the AFC making a bunch of noise. Yeah, I would definitely consider him for the Pro Bowl.
He's going for 3 straight 100 tackle seasons. Takeo Spikes. Bledsoe on 2nd down, throws underneath. It's caught by Rutledge, the tight end. A pickup of 2 down to the 37.
That's a dangerous pass to me. You know, you're only throwing the ball about 3 yards. right across the middle to your big target tight end. But I don't know, that kind of scares me. See the tight end right here, and he's going to go right across the middle, right in your view there. Too many hands, too many things can go wrong. Linemen nowadays are getting interceptions. I never got an interception when I played. I'm a little upset about that too.
12 years, never got a pick.
Never got a pick.
3rd down and 6, and there's flags, movement. Everybody.
Ball start, 11 offense. The 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Drew
Called
Bledsoe.
it on the quarterback, huh?
You know, everybody points fingers, and Bledsoe just kind of ducked his head and walked back to the huddle. You know, we saw him in warm-ups, Charles, trying to get under center, and I know that thumb's got to be bothering him. Look at that, pulling back.
That's what it is. That's what it is. And you know what? He can't lock his thumb anymore. He would normally interlock his thumb. And people that play golf know about interlocking fingers and whatnot, but he interlocks his thumb. He can't do that right now. Keeps it open, and a lot of times there's a miscue there because of that.
Got the play off with a second to spare. Bledsoe over the middle. It's caught, but flags are down. Troy Brown with the reception.
Stop made by Rodney Heath. There's a flag down on the field.
Rodney Heath, who took a hit to the helmet, was out for a while, but back in and made that tackle. 21-yard pass play.
Illegal contact, 27 defense. That penalty is declined. 1st down.
I don't know how there was any illegal contact. I didn't see a Cincinnati Bengal when the ball was caught. See a Cincinnati Bengal in the area. There's our Trail Hawkins right there. And what he does is he has contact more than 5 yards down the football field, and that definitely was a legitimate call.
1st and 10, New England at the 48 of Cincinnati. Bledsoe steps up and throws. Oh, what a catch! Troy Brown diving inside the 15-yard line.
That was an incredible pass and an incredible catch by Terry Glenn.
Check that, Terry Glenn. I apologize. It was terrific. A terrific catch.
And a nice move here on Rodney Heath. Rodney Heath loses his sight of where the ball was going. I think a lot of times that's predicated to not getting a jam on the line of scrimmage.
Old fumble, lost it on the ground, and Cincinnati quickly there.
Of course, that happened last week. Kevin Falk, while New England was trying to go in for a touchdown.
You know, Charles, you talk about depth at running back for New England. Pass gets the start today, but J.R. Redmond with rib problems, and then Kevin Falk, as you mentioned, with trouble handling the football, and so Patrick Pass, a rookie from Georgia, got the start today.
And he's trying to shake off what happened.
Bledsoe under some pressure, able to turn out and throw off the fingertips this time of Troy Brown.
And Bledsoe should be a little upset there. That could have been caught. Troy Brown, that went in his hands. Bledsoe did a nice job of avoiding the rush, and Brown could have bailed him out by holding on to the football.
That incompletion stops the clock with 2:07 left in the half. You got to like this wide receiver combination in New England with Terry Glenn and Troy Brown. Troy came in with 44 receptions and Terry Glenn with 48 to the end zone. Batted away at the last possible second.
Bledsoe's pass intended for Tony.
Mark Roman. They've gone to their 3rd string left corner,
right,
who came up with the batted ball.
Now that was not a very good pass by Bledsoe, but watch Roman right here makes a great play on the ball. I talked about earlier that these little defensive backs can have great coverage a lot of times, but it's making the play on the ball that counts.
Vinatieri has made his last 8 field goals. This will be from 38.
Kicks away, kicks away.
Kicks it up and good. So the streak continues 9 in a row.
That is a 2-minute warning.
For Vinatieri. And New England takes a 10-7 lead. 2-minute warning. We'll be back. Well, Vinatieri's 38-yard field goal has given New England a 10-7 lead over Cincinnati. And coming up on the NASDAQ.com halftime report, join Jim, Mike, and Randy. All the scores, all the highlights, plus the latest NFL news. That's coming up on the NASDAQ.com halftime report. Vinatieri has it teed up at the 30. And it's Mack and Keaton back for Cincinnati. At the 9, Tremaine Mack. Straight up the middle, breaks the tackle, and slides to the 34-yard line. Charles, the road has not been kind to Cincinnati, but yet hanging in here.
The biggest thing, 3.6 points per game. The turnovers, yeah, the turnovers is bad, and they're 27th in the NFL on the turnover ratio with a -10, but 3 points, you got to score points. I think that's why we see Scott Mitchell in there today.
On the road, you said less than 4 points a game. They've doubled it. Tough run. Brandon Bennett, and he's tackled by Malloy, and Willie McGinnis, who missed last week, inactive because of a calf injury. Hurry-up offense here. Minute 32 and counting. Mitchell, good protection, throws, and it's complete to the 41. Warwick making the catch.
That's one of the pass plays that Achilles Smith really had trouble throwing, and that was the crossing routes coming over the middle where a player is running away from you. Scott Mitchell did a nice job getting the ball to Peter Warwick.
2 timeouts remaining for both teams, and Bennett chopped down around the 48. McGinnis again on the stop. That will move the chains. Under a minute left. Mitchell trying to guide this hurry-up offense.
Clock management here. Cincinnati Bengals seem like they're taking their time.
1st and 10. Mitchell to the sideline. Right on the button as he made the turn out. Danny Farmer, and the ball was delivered at the 41.
And that is timing, and that comes late in the year when guys have been working together with each other all year long. That's very impressive that Scott Mitchell has the timing with his receivers, and he's getting the ball to a lot of different receivers right now, and looking pretty good.
Oh, look, 118 already in this half. And the season average is 107.
Which is dead last in the National Football League.
Mitchell, far side, little push and a bump. Incomplete, no flags, and the intended receiver was Warwick. Ty Law playing some blanket coverage.
That's the skinny post. Mitchell gets that ball more towards the numbers to the inside of the football field, and Warwick, if the ball gets to the inside there, instead of over his shoulder, if it would have got more to the inside, if you could have put that on a string, which is easy for me to say up here, but that would have been 6.
2nd down and 10, 38 seconds left. Patriots coming with the blitz. Mitchell steps up and incomplete.
And that, I believe, should have been a pass interference. It was the same kind of play that Danny Farmer and Mitchell ran before on Otis Smith. And this time Otis Smith holds on a little bit and says, no, I'm not going to let you get to the outside. I mean, he's played in the National Football League a long time. He's smarter than that.
11 years.
11 years, a long time. Especially at corner.
3rd down and 10 with 35 seconds left in the first half. Close game. New England 10, Cincinnati 7, trying to get into field goal range. Mitchell throws, complete. Big pass completion. And it's Tony McGee, the tight end.
He ran down to make sure he got a timeout. That's smart. That's being smart.
Timeout, Cincinnati.
So Mitchell burns a timeout. 1st and 10 from the 25. We'll be back. 28 seconds left before half, and a big pass play to the tight end McGee from Scott Mitchell. Well, McGee is kind of the Iron Man of Cincinnati, making his 114th consecutive start. High snap. Mitchell, good protection, but the protection breaks down. Sidearms to the sideline. Incomplete.
And Teddy Brutski has to feel very, very upset with himself. Missing a tackle, a sack, if you will. Those don't come very easily. He's smiling at himself like, my goodness, what do I have to do? He told us yesterday that, you know, Scott Mitchell would hold on to the ball a long time and we would get some pressure. Scott Mitchell's a big guy now. He is a very big guy. You can't come in there and not bring it when you're going to try to sack him.
Yeah, he's not going to fall down. 6'6", 240. And that's, you know, he's in good shape. Now, he was around 260 a year ago. He's dropped some pounds. From the shotgun, Mitchell on second down. Throws, far sideline. Caught by McGee. Again, stops the clock at the 15-yard line.
Smart play by McGee, the veteran, to get out of bounds with the ball. And those are the routes you look for. Scott Mitchell had a couple of people open, but he goes to his tight end, who runs a nice delayed route, gets to the out of bounds, and doesn't have to burn up their last time out, so they can use that if they had to set up for a field goal or whatever if they don't get into the end zone.
1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. 17 ticks left. From the shotgun again, Mitchell flags her down. Throws to the end zone. Incomplete. Another flag is dropped. It's Warwick on the reception, and this may take a minute to sort out. Flag in the end zone, flag to the near side.
The flag to the near side, I believe, is offsides, and the flag down the field, I believe, is pass interference. Now, should have been a free play for them, and that is Warwick going against Ty Law. We've been seeing that matchup a lot today. Ty Law has not necessarily got the best of Warwick.
There is no penalty flag over here, but we do have defense offside.
Interesting. So we'll take away the flag that we threw down because
offside,
we saw something.
45 defense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
How close was this, Charles?
Was it a catch? Looks like a catch to me. Feet both in bounds. And it was defensive offsides. Aren't you supposed to have a free play?
Would you challenge that?
Yeah. Now, was that second foot down? Was Warwick's second foot down, or did he bend it back? Let's look at this right there, and looks like it's definitely a catch, but does that right foot ever get down? That foot that's up there, does it ever touch down?
Well, Mitchell has made his way to the sideline, and the officials still having a discussion. They've set the ball at the 10-yard line.
The clock is correct, 12 seconds.
So we know the clock is right with 12 seconds left.
Well, the referee upstairs could have reviewed that if they felt like it was reviewable.
Only upstairs in the final 2 minutes.
Right.
Mitchell looks one way, throws the other, incomplete. Danny Farmer, the intended receiver.
One of the problems with this New England Patriots defense is they have not been getting enough pressure without running blitzes and dogs. And Scott Mitchell had a chance to look the whole field over from the right and then come all the way back to the left and then throw the ball.
8 seconds left. You're kind of flirting here with some danger with 8 ticks left if you want to get a field goal away.
Well, they have to throw the football. This will not be a run.
Mitchell stands up, throws.
And
Warwick wants a flag.
Yeah, and rightfully so. He and Ty Law were going at it with the hand fighting, trying to, Ty Law was trying to get his hands on Warwick, and Warwick is trying to swipe his hands to get him off of him. We see the eyes of Scott Mitchell. They come right into your living room right there. Ty Law did a good job. I mean, that's why he's in the NFL, and that's why he's played the way he's played over the last 6 years.
This will be a 28-yard field goal. High snap. Rackers, and he connects from 28.
That is the end of the first half.
And that ties the score at 10-10.
We've got a football game.
That ends the first half with our score, Cincinnati 10, New England 10. Coming up next is the NASDAQ.com halftime report after this message and a word from your local station.
CBS Sports presentation of the NASDAQ.com halftime report is sponsored by NASDAQ.com, the information source for the serious investor.
And for those of you enjoying the Cincinnati-New England game, I'm Jim Nantz back here from our NFL Today studios in New York. Welcome to the NASDAQ.com halftime report. Mike Dick and Randy Cross watching as well. That first half, what did you think, Randy?
Well, Mike, you were all over it. This is two not very good football teams. But what we're seeing here is we're seeing a lot of passing of the football between Scott Mitchell and Drew Bledsoe. Bledsoe, in spite of having that bad thumb, is still throwing the ball very well. Got to throw it to beat this team.
All right, the NFL's longest win streak, active win streak, 6 by the Saints, in trouble right now. In fact, big trouble, because not only is Ricky Williams out for the year, it looks like Jeff Blake as well.
Guy gets out of the pocket. Lance Johnson sacks him here, rolls up on his foot. You can see what happened. It turns under. He breaks and dislocates his foot, and he's going to be out for the rest of the year.
How about Rich Gannon?
Well, it's exactly what Jerry Glanville talked about pregame. Avoid the rush, scramble, make something happen, gets the ball to Rison stretches for the end zone. They get a big TD on the play.
Hey, Mike, with Blake out, Aaron Brooks is the Saints quarterback.
He bounces back. First pass intercepted. Right back to Willie Jackson. 53 yards for touchdown.
17-7, final minute of the first half down at the Superdome. Meanwhile, the Bills at Kansas City. Hey, look, right away with the Bills opening drive, like Rob Johnson was going to do something really big here.
Well, I mentioned the pregame show. The loser of this thing is out. Right now, it looks like Rob Johnson's determined that it's not going to be him. Here he had Eric Moulds in the 9-yard touchdown, and the Buffalo defense is doing something I was really surprised at. They're pressuring Elvis Gerbach. There, Keith Newman gets the sack. An emotionless Chief team going against a very conservative Buffalo Bills team.
Very strange scene. No emotion at Arrowhead, and Johnson with a touchdown in the first series of the game. So that's holding up right now. Look at this. No score and 5 turnovers by the Titans in the first half. Elsewhere, Indianapolis, you talk about flat. The Packers, a couple of touchdown passes by Favre. And, well, we knew it was going to be just awful conditions there today. It's really impacted the Colts, Mike.
Well, it stops snowing, but watch this. This is the first offensive play. He loses the ball, slips out of his hand. He falls on it. It's a safety.
Thrown like a dome team.
Well, exactly. and I think they're a soft team. I really do. They're insiders. Here's Favre. Favre does not look like he has a sprained arch. Believe me, he's moving around pretty good. He is throwing the ball with great accuracy, in, out, across, everywhere else. There he hits Antonio Freeman for a touchdown.
And your point about playing outdoors, a salient one, it looks like, for the Colts, who lost at Soldier Field a couple of weeks ago and down big time here. Panthers just got on the board to trim that lead to 7. Culpepper with a couple of touchdown strikes. Meanwhile, the Bears, Mike, you forecast a Chicago day today. They've lost 6 straight to the Bucs, but they lead here. Final 7 seconds of the first half. Lions have forced 3 giant turnovers, and Batch has thrown 2 scores. Cardinals at the Eagles, and Philadelphia with a touchdown there from McNabb to Jeff Thomas and just a 1-yard flip. All right, we'll continue on the NASDAQ.com halftime report in just a moment.
CBS Sports presentation of the NASDAQ.com halftime report is sponsored by NASDAQ.com, the information source for the serious investor.
Welcome back, everybody, to our Fifth Avenue studios and the NASDAQ.com halftime report. I'm Jim Nantz, along with Mike Dick and Randy Cross. And as we enter this Thanksgiving holiday week, it's a good time to get a head start in counting our blessings. Mike was certainly blessed to have coached the great Walter Payton. And on Thursday in Chicago, he joined Walter's widow, Connie, as principals for a day at the brand new Walter Payton High School.
They called him Sweetness, a name which spoke to the very essence of the man. The coach and Connie visited the state-of-the-art high school that bears his name. It's decorated with tributes to his glorious football career and dedicated to the principles that guided his life both on and off the field.
How much of Peyton's success was talent and how much of it was just hard work?
There was a great statement that was made by a great coach one time called Vince Lombardi. And he said, the people who succeed in life are not always the strongest and the smartest, but those who will it the most. He had a great will. The will is a powerful thing. It can overcome a lot of things.
Come on, baby. One more time.
Knowledge and learning is the pathway to success, without which you have very little. And you're fortunate. I mean, this is something special. And I'm just proud to be here today. Thank you.
Mike, I know you count your blessings for having known Walter Payton. What did that name mean to you?
I'll tell you, I was so proud to be with Connie. I know Walter's looking down, and he's very proud to see it. This is a city, public school in the city of Chicago. This is the most advanced high school in the country. There's nothing like this. These kids are truly fortunate to have the opportunity to go to this school, Jim.
Well said. By the way, we hope everybody will join us for a special holiday edition of the NFL Today this Thursday at noon Eastern Time. We're going to visit with Patriots quarterback Drew Bledsoe and his family, and they'll tell us all about Drew's foundation, which is dedicated to improving the lives of American children. And then at 12:30, Drew and the Patriots challenge the Lions in Detroit's traditional Thanksgiving Day game. And the NFL on CBS will continue in just a moment.
CBS Sports presentation of the NASDAQ.com halftime report is sponsored by NASDAQ.com, the information source for the serious investor.
It's a dead heat at halftime. Cincinnati and New England tied at 10-10. Craig Bolerjack back with Charles Mann here in Foxborough. You look at the passing, which was really at the quarterback position today, was a big story. Drew Bledsoe, conservative, 144 yards. Scott Mitchell, Cincinnati looking for a pass game, and Scott Mitchell came through 144 yards, and neither quarterback threw a pick.
I'm impressed, and you know the big story so far in the first half has to be Scott Mitchell and the passing attack. Am I saying that right? The passing attack of the Cincinnati Bengals.
Well, it's been a long time coming for a touchdown pass in Cincinnati, 6 quarters plus, but finally Scott Mitchell connects with Peter Warrick.
And Peter Warrick is the guy that can make a lot of plays, running a double move there on Ty Law, and just watches the ball drop into his hands. He does a great job finishing the play. And then I don't know what he's doing right there. Is that the Las Vegas shuffle or something?
He'll be
shaking
named.
Some dice?
He'll have a name for it by the evening. I guarantee you. And Charles, let's take a look at the first half numbers. You see the passing yards, 144 for Mitchell. Now officially 138 for Drew Bledsoe.
What stands out to me there is the first downs for Cincinnati, 15-9. They have had they have moved the ball well the whole day, and then the total yards, 217. The one problem, the turnover, the one turnover there.
Well, Adam Vinatieri will kick away, and back to receive is Tremaine Mack. Underway, third quarter. Short kick at the 13, and it's Mack. Mack hits a wall at the 27-yard line, so Mitchell and company back to work.
More like a Mack truck.
Yeah. Complete opposites. You're going to compare this now with the St. Louis Rams. Bengals, 9.3 points a game, Charles. Nearly 40 for St. Louis. Oh, it's almost, is it Ram-like so far in this first half?
Yeah. Huh? I wouldn't go that far.
I agree. Corey Dillon taken down after the 1-yard run. Otis Smith, terrific first half for Otis Smith.
Called his name a whole bunch. Well, Corey Dillon has to be pleased with the Bengal offense right now. He wanted to see them mix up some runs and some passes, get the ball down the field so that he wouldn't see 8, 9, 10 men in the box, and he has not today. And right now, 14 carries, 50 yards, not bad.
Mitchell again. Dillon hits a wall, got back to the line of scrimmage. A gang tackle led by Brandon Mitchell.
We haven't called Chris Slade's number very much, and I'm not sure if he's hurting or what, but you know, he's got 62 tackles on the year, 4 sacks, 2 forced fumbles. It's not like he's playing awful, but he just he's not a wrecking crew like he used to be.
Yeah, so far just spot play this afternoon. Third down for Mitchell. Throws out of the backfield, hooks up with the fullback Nick Williams. And Williams picks up a first down. So if the secondary has good coverage, which New England did, Scott Mitchell goes to his third man down the progression list.
He has gone through his progressions a bunch of times in this game. Number one, it's predicated to his offensive line doing a great job giving him the time, but also we're talking about a poised young man in Scott Mitchell knowing how to take command and control of an offense.
17-yard pickup, little reverse, coming the other way. Craig Yeast still on his feet, breaks it at the 40, and tumbles to the 38-yard line.
I've got my mouth hanging open. I cannot believe those moves that we saw by Craig Yeast. I mean, that, in all intents and purposes, that should have been about a 5-yard gain. But Yeast single-handedly is juking, and this was a double reverse, a reverse to Warwick, and then back to Yeast, and looks upfield. Look what he looks at, Ty Law.
Little double hitch in the giddy-up.
Yeah, he was picking up something after that.
Dylan the handoff to the 35-yard line, and Bruschi made the tackle.
Talk about a linebacker for the New England Patriots. It's very active. It's Teddy Bruschi.
You know, he's been very active in college. Who can forget the Desert Swarm of Arizona back in that day? He had 52 sacks in college, would tie Derek Thomas's Division I record.
That is incredible.
Tremendous. A timeout, 12-14 left in the third, and we're tied at 10. Second down and 7. There was an injury timeout, and O'Dwyer had to go to the bench. Mitchell back to the air, and a sliding catch. They're going to call incomplete. Battaglia, the tight end, went down on a knee, but they say incomplete. You're looking Marco Battaglia, fifth-year player out of Rutgers.
Right there is Matt O'Dwyer, and keep watching as number 60, Rod Jones, falls on his leg, and then the pile stays on top of him for a few minutes. And he looks like he's in some pain.
Now Gutierrez came in, number 62. He's at the center spot, 3rd and 7. Good protection. Now Mitchell takes off, flags are down, and Mitchell hook slides to the 24.
Scott Mitchell is doing everything right now. I mean, he really, yeah, they only have 10 points, and, you know, but they're in this game.
Defensive holding.
We will add 5 yards to the end of the run. First down.
Bruschi, Teddy Bruschi.
You know, you can't, go to the bank with this running of Scott Mitchell, but it is pretty effective when he needs it.
I think he even was surprised. You saw a little grin as he came up off the field. Bruschi was whistled for the infraction. Double tight set for Cincinnati. 1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Mitchell on the slant to Warwick. Ty Law has been kept busy, Charles, man.
Yes, he has. And Peter Warwick, coming into this game, one of the gripes on Warwick is, he's dropped the ball 11 or 12 times. He has not had a drop today. He's been involved in the game. He hasn't had to do a lot of blocking. He's been involved in receiving catches, which is nice. That's why they brought him here.
Clock running. He hits 11 minutes. Dylan stacked up, still working those legs to the 11. Lawyer Malloy, and on the stop. And Charles, we look at scores around from New York, Oakland, New Orleans. Understand Jeff Blake, who's had a tremendous season with New Orleans, out with a dislocated and fractured foot. And that goes on top of the loss of Ricky Williams.
That can mean doom for the New Orleans Saints.
Cleveland and Tennessee in a battle at 7-all. And how about at Lambeau? Green Bay up by 19. Mitchell to Dillon. Good pursuit by New England. Drops him for a yard loss at the 13. And Spires led the charge, number 94.
When you have injuries to your offensive line unit, it really does hinder the running attack. It hinders the quarterback being able to have the time to throw the ball down the field. And, those guys work together each and every week. They know how to play with one another. And when you have one of the chain missing, one of the links in the chain missing, then it can stymie your rushing attack.
Rackers will try a 30-yard field goal. Snap is down, the kick is away.
He hits the goal post. It's like my golf game. You know, they keep saying the trees are 90% air, and I always catch them.
Hit the upright from 30 out. 10-10. We'll be back. Welcome back to Foxborough. It's a little cloudy skies this afternoon.
This isn't bad, though.
Mid-November, you could get anything here.
Yeah.
Ice, snow, we're getting into Lambeau. Bledsoe comes out throwing. First offensive series of this half, and boy, nice grab up on the ladder, Terry Glenn. You know, emotion is what we heard from Bill Belichick. I want to see emotion. If you don't want to play that type of football, he'll make changes. You see emotion in this football game from New England?
Well, it was interesting in talking with some of the players. We found out that Belichick went to a practice squad offensive lineman and encouraged him to pick a fight with a defensive veteran to kind of set the tone for practice this week. What do you think about that?
Interesting. And again, flags come out. Players we talked to said, too, emotion's not going to be a problem here anymore. I mean, we got the message.
So do we see emotion out there? I saw emotion in the first quarter.
Holding, 83 offense. It's a 10-yard penalty, still first off.
Well, it's been a hot topic, of course, local radio, television. I saw a couple of pregame shows this morning just talking about that. Come to play.
Right, you're getting paid. Why aren't you here playing? And Belichick, you know, his job as a head coach is to have his players ready to play. And they didn't spend a lot of time on the Cincinnati Bengals this week. They spent a lot of time looking from within themselves.
First and 20. Bledsoe, little pump. Now he throws sideline. Off the fingertips, incomplete. He wanted Terry Glenn. Well, tonight on 60 Minutes, why didn't a cop know before he shot and killed an African-American that the man he killed was also a cop? That's the question tonight, 60 Minutes here on CBS.
The 60 Minute shows have been fantastic.
For years.
Yeah, absolutely.
8:38 left third quarter, 10-10, Cincinnati, New England, 2nd and 20. Bledsoe throws, has a man, caught, pulled down by Simmons. And now they're going to fight for the football. Give it to Cincinnati. It's Robert Bean.
Robert Bean, we haven't called his name in a while. Robert Bean, the rookie, getting his first NFL start.
And his first, of course, pick.
And his first pick.
Interception, Cincinnati's ball.
And the red hat is on the field, or they will be reviewing this. And Robert Bean makes up some ground right here. And Simmons never did have the ball. It was on his chest. He never did have that.
Well, they went down.
England is challenging the ruling on the field of an interception.
They're going to lose the timeout here.
Charles, good eyes, because, again, the possession's going to be the biggest factor about this. And then he came down and they rolled.
It's on his chest, see? And Robert Bean does a great job. Now, it's a matter of whether the ball hits the ground right there as Robert Bean is putting it in his hands. You know, in reviewing the film this week, I didn't like what I saw with Tony Simmons on a lot of the plays where he wasn't involved. He wasn't running very hard. And it's hard to get the timing down with a receiver that's not giving his all his effort. And in that situation right there, you've got to, I mean, the ball hits your chest. You got to bring it down. You got to fight for it. But I don't know about the character of this young man. I'm not trying to, demean him, but I was watching the film, and I meant to bring this up earlier, that the guy just didn't impress me in terms of when the ball was thrown away from him. I was watching his routes, and he wasn't running very hard.
Well, you see Bean. He showed the football to the official, to the ref. And there's a look at Tony Simmons, third-year pro out of Wisconsin. No matter how this play goes, I'm wondering how Bean's attitude's going to change. He was pretty much taking advantage of, Charles, in that first half.
Right. Yeah, yes, he was. And he was taken advantage of by the veteran in Terry Glenn. Terry Glenn is a true professional. We should mention that the referee is looking at the same video that we have, and so from what we saw, it has to be conclusive. You know, there can't be any gray area in there.
Well, we got a decision.
All right.
After reviewing the play, it is an interception. Cincinnati's ball, first down. Charge, timeout, New England.
You said it.
Well, you know, Robert Bean, that's going to do wonders for his career and confidence.
There's a timeout here in New England. Tight game, 10-10. We'll be back. Well, during our timeout, Drew Bledsoe and the coaches still trying to get an explanation from the officiating crew. You know, Charles, I'm a type, you know, too bad there's not a category. Bledsoe threw a good football.
Yes, he did.
And it's a category you almost ought to stick on a whiteout saying catches that should have been. And Mitchell comes right back and makes New England pay as he hits Peter Warwick. Laura Malloy made the tackle at the 27-yard line. Call it the 29.
And Ty Law was covering him. Nice play action fake. Scott Mitchell looking over the field, knows where Peter Warwick's going to be, and Ty Law gave way too much room.
1st and 10, 29-yard line. Dillon taken down at the 26. Call it the 27. Well, Charles, Thursday, be sure to join CBS Sports special holiday edition of the National Football League as these New England Patriots take on the Lions. It starts at noon Eastern on the NFL Today. We'll visit with Patriot quarterback Drew Bledsoe and his family, and they're going to tell us about Drew's foundation dedicated to improving the lives of American children. That's Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. 2nd down and 8. Mitchell pumps, goes to the end zone. Flags are down. Otis Smith fell down.
It's probably going to be offensive pass interference on Craig Yeast. Otis Smith is on the ground. Yeast is running. Look at it.
Holding.
Okay. Now, I don't know how they can call that on Otis Smith, and he's on the ground.
Defense. That penalty is declined. Pass interference. 45 off defense, excuse me. That's a first down.
Here's the two players in question. And watch as he makes a double move. The double move, and that's how he ended up on the ground. He's trying to hold on, and, you know, please, I'll take the 15-yarder, but don't get a touchdown on me. The lesser of two evils was he made the right move, Otis Smith did. Seen a lot of double moves today in the pass routes.
From the 19-yard line, Mitchell under pressure, throws. Incomplete.
Love to see Teddy Bruschi going up and over in the middle center area.
Good look at Dick LeBeau. Took over for Bruce Coslett after an 0-3 start.
Take a look at the effort of this guy right there, Teddy Bruschi, as he goes up and over trying to get to the quarterback. That's 1-2 right there.
Dillon, boy, delivers the hit on Smith as he runs out of bounds.
Corey Dillon's numbers aren't, you know, nowhere near the 278. As we see a holding that will bring that ball back 10 yards. But I tell you what, he likes to deliver a blow. He enjoys
holding, 60 offense. The 10-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
He loves to deliver the blow, and, you know, a guy who loved to deliver the blow that I had an opportunity to play against was Walter Payton. And Walter Payton, I'm telling you.
You know, that's interesting because we talked about this coming over today, about the way his legs always churn. You got hit in the chops a few times.
Yeah, I did. That's my claim to fame. I was run over by Walter Payton.
Dillon with 19 carries for 56 yards. Quick drop, and it's batted down at the line of scrimmage. Incomplete, brings up 3rd down and long.
There's the Chad.
There's Chad.
Chad Eaton.
You know what? It depends on the Chads.
And look, there's the Chads all over the place. See that?
Look at that jersey ripped up. He's got the black under the eyes. He's a college teammate of Bledsoe.
Tough guy.
They must have some stories. 3rd down and 20 from the shotgun. Under pressure again. Underthrows, incomplete. He wanted Peter Warrick, but the pressure from the Patriots caused Mitchell to throw a little early and couldn't get enough steam from the left arm.
Right. Holmberg, the middle linebacker, put great pressure on Scott Mitchell, and Scott Mitchell had to throw the ball backing up. You'll never have the oomph on the ball you need. As you see right here, 50 comes into the play. Scott Mitchell's throwing off of his foot as he's going backwards.
This will be a 46-yarder. You remember Rackers just hit the upright last time down. This one from 46. Good.
Barely makes it. Barely goes through. But it's good.
From 46. And on the road, Cincinnati by 3. Rackers from 45 yards, officially a career high, puts Cincinnati on top here in Foxborough, 13-10.
He was previously 0 for 4 over 40 yards coming into today.
Kevin Falk up the middle for New England. Taken down at the 29. Tonight on CBS, for nearly 50 years, Hallmark Hall of Fame has brought you the most unforgettable television events. And tonight, Academy Award winner Mercedes Ruehl stars in Hallmark Hall of Fame's The Lost Child. That is tonight here on CBS.
I like to sit around with the family and watch those Hallmark presentations.
Well, is that time of year?
You?
Is that time of year?
Yeah. They're always good, family-oriented.
Well, Charles, you've talked about emotion. Let's see if New England has it here. Down 3 with 6:31 left. They throw the quick flip to the far side. It's caught. Troy Brown has it. And picks up 7 yards to the 36, taken down by Rod Heath.
And that play was one of the check with me plays that Drew Bledsoe told us about yesterday. He has 2 plays called, maybe a run play, maybe a pass play. He goes up to the line of scrimmage. He sees Rodney Heath is playing off of Terry Glenn, and he calls a check with me. Check with me means, okay, we're going to change it. We're going to go to our second play.
Pass stacked up.
Easy, guys. A big.
Great penetration.
2 back to the 35.
Very good penetration by John Copeland, the right tackle.
Also, Armigas Spearman, 59, a rookie on a Mississippi.
Armigas Spearman on the tackle.
Armigas. I wonder what kind of name that is. Armigas.
3rd down and 4. Clock running.
All right, here's a matchup again. Terry Glenn and Rodney Bean.
Bledsoe, play fake, and they throw it to the flat, and it's caught, but Patrick pass maybe a yard. And so Cincinnati's defense, they're showing the emotion right now.
Right.
And the boos starting to filter around Foxborough Stadium.
Dick LeBeau told us that he has a young football team. They have to learn how to play on the road. Takeel Spikes, his man is the running back, and he mirrors him wherever he goes. So it was a pretty easy play to make, and he's got a lot of spirit.
Lee Johnson, the left footer. Good kick, fair catch, taken at the 15-yard line. Craig Yee saw the coverage by New England and said, I want nothing to do with it. 49-yard kick by Lee Johnson. 13-10 Cincinnati. Cincinnati with the football and a 3-point lead. 4:28 left in this 3rd quarter. Scott Mitchell running the show. Corey Dillon dancing, sliding, turning to the 21-yard line. Now, he's a power back, as you mentioned, but boy, still has some interesting moves.
Look at the last 4 possessions for the Bengals. Isn't this amazing? Field goal, missed field goal, TD. Maybe they are the St. Louis Rams. But they only lead by 3 points. So we can discount that.
2nd and 5. Wait till Warner gets back in St. Louis.
Trent Green's not doing too bad.
No, he's doing great. Look at the protection, but great downfield coverage, and that time Mitchell throws incomplete, looking for Nick Williams, the fullback.
Scott Mitchell has done a great job with this team. Yet they only have 13 points. They have not won anything with him, but you can see the leadership, and you can see these young players around him rallying. Look, he's not been sacked. He's been hurried 5 times. That's okay. And been knocked down once. So, offensive line is doing a great job. By the way, Matt O'Dwyer, the left guard that went out, he had a fractured left ankle.
Mitchell over the middle, tough catch, pulled down by number 84, Yeast. And Antonio Langham, you can't play defense much better than that. That was just a terrific catch.
And a terrific throw. Throwing the ball outside of the receiver. Right there. Making the move to the inside. And yeah, that was, you can't play that any better than Antonio Langham played that, other than stopping the receiver from getting to the inside.
1st and 10, Cincinnati. They give it to Dillon. Comes back near side, stiff arms, and bulls his way to the 31-yard line. Let's go back to Jim Nance to New York for an NFL update. Jim?
All right, thank you, Bowler. You might recall at halftime, Randy Cross said he had never seen such an uninspired Arrowhead audience, but they are stirred on this play. Gerback to Gonzalez for the lead. Kansas City by 3 over the Bills. Let's go back to Craig and Charles.
Thank you, Jim.
2nd down, 6.
Tony Gonzalez, one of the up-and-comers, one of the great young stars in the National Football League. 2nd down, 6 from the eye. Mitchell pedals back 3 steps, still drifting, throws, picked off. Lawyer Malloy has been hanging back all day, and he read the eyes of Mitchell, who had to just kind of scoot back on his heels, and he gets the pick. His 2nd of the season.
Lawyer Malloy reads this all the way. He's looking at the quarterback's eyes. Wasn't a lot on that football as Scott Mitchell was backing up as he throws it. Lawyer Malloy does a great job of making a play for his team. Making a play. This game will come down to who turns the ball over the least amount, and right now it's 2-1 the Patriots.
First mistake by Mitchell. 13 tackles for Malloy and the interception. Bledsoe and the Patriots with good field position. He's on the run and throws incomplete. Well, let's go back to Jim Nance. Another update from our New York studios. Jim?
All right, Craig, listen to this courageous effort. Eddie George scores at the start of the 3rd quarter, goes to the locker room, checked out for bruised ribs, returns, and he's in for his 2nd touchdown of the quarter. The Titans lead, even though they've turned it over 7 times today. Let's go back to Craig and Charles.
Now, he just discounted what I said. 7 turnovers, and yet they're winning. That doesn't happen very often. You don't win very many football games not handling the ball.
Eddie George is a physical specimen. We have an injured Bengal, and that's a very important player to Keo Spikes.
Let me say this. He must be really injured because he would not come off the football field.
He was picked along with Brian Simmons in that 1998 draft. Simmons, a middle linebacker from North Carolina. Spikes with 6 stops today.
Looks like he's, looks like he's nursing his back, trying to stretch his back out.
But Simmons has been out with a right knee. And Spikes told us it's kind of lonely out there without his buddy.
And it's hurt him.
Quick pass. Glenn to the 21. Spearman made the tackle.
That play will be there every time they want to go to it. Now, here's the Spikes injury. He jumps up in the air right there. And
You could just hear a twing.
Yeah, it's either, and I don't want to speculate, so I'll leave it alone. But watching that, you wonder if it's a hamstring, some kind. It is a little cool out here.
3rd down and 4 again. Pitch and catch to the sideline. You said it's there all day, and they heard you. Terry Glenn again with a catch from Bledsoe.
Robert Bean is playing a little bit too far off, a little too soft, trying to make sure at least, hey, if you're gonna get a ball on me, you're not gonna burn me deep. You're gonna catch something. Robert Bean just came out of our picture, comes back up, too much space. Terry Glenn will eat you alive, and Bledsoe told us that Glenn will come back in the huddle as we look at
Patrick pass stacked up. Now the pass game, the short game's there for New England. Run game, it's been tough.
Yeah, it has been, but Terry Glenn will come to the huddle and say, hey, look, Drew, something's open. And Drew said, I said, yeah, every receiver is going to tell you that. And he said, but I trust this guy. I believe him. When he comes in and tells us there's something there, there's something there. And I have the flexibility in the offense to respond to what he's saying.
Word from the sideline, Takeo Spike's hip injury, but is on the football field. So he got it stretched out and was back.
I told you he wouldn't be out long.
Bledsoe 15 of 25. The 1 pick for 181 yards. Throws, caught, took a shot but hung on is Terry Glenn. And Bean dished out the lick.
Made a nice break on that. Still playing off a little bit too soft, but was able to plant and come up. We see the eyes of Bledsoe, and where is he looking? He's looking at his guy. And Robert Bean does come up and roll his hips into Terry Glenn.
Glenn now 8 catches for 93 yards. And Bledsoe just methodically getting close to the 200-yard mark. 3rd down and 4 for New England. Play action, little boot. They throw inside the 5-yard line. And on a knee, Troy Brown with a terrific grab.
And that's going to be a little short of the 1st down. Do they go for it, or do they kick a field goal? Do they do the smart thing, or do they get the crowd behind them?
Well, they'll have a little break to think about it. That ends the 3rd quarter here in New England. 13-10 Cincinnati will return to Foxborough Stadium after this message and a word from your local station. Well, the start of the 4th quarter, Cincinnati by 3, and New England looking at 4th and less than a yard. Well, forget the debate. Vinatieri has come on the field after the change of quarters. He hit from 38 in the 2nd quarter. They'll mark this ball at the 11. So a 21-yard field goal attempt.
And you hear the boos of the crowd. They want him to go for it.
High snap, kick is away, and punches it through from 21 yards. And that ties the score at 13. Well, Friday, there is a special holiday edition of the Home Depot College Football. And then Saturday, doubleheader action when Georgia Tech battles Georgia between the hedges, or Boston College takes on Miami. It's all Thanksgiving weekend here on CBS.
You doing that game?
Between the hedges. Georgia
Are you doing
Tech.
that game?
Doing that game.
All right.
I'll be there.
You're an Iron Man in the booth. You do it all, man. Notre Dame yesterday. Notre Dame and
Boston, Rutgers.
Rutgers, yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Rutgers
hung in there for a couple of quarters.
New coach they'll have to find is Terry Shea resigning. A lot of college jobs beginning to open up.
Always around this time of the year, huh?
Yeah. Well, here it is 13-13. Bledsoe and the Patriots coming back, moving the ball nicely, and Vinatieri connect from 21. Now, you said it may come down just to that turnover and field position, wherever that turnover may be. Mack and Keaton back to receive. At the 11, it's Keaton. Slips a tackle and taken down to the 27. Patrick Pass in on the stop. So now Cincinnati will come back, and let's see what Scott Mitchell, how he'll react after throwing the interception.
He said he's got a different attitude this year. He was the first guy out in training camp practices.
They go to Dillon. Flags are down. Breaks the tackle to the 37. Chris Slade made the tackle, but a flag down.
His longest run of the day, and there's a holding which will bring it back.
Scott Mitchell, 16 of 30. 195 yards, the touchdown, holding, and the one interception.
63 offense. The 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Charles, do you buy, and you played the defensive line for 12 years, do you buy the fact that you can hold every play, that the flag could be, I know I'm going to get a stilted answer from a D lineman.
You're right, though. You're right. I mean, every play an offensive lineman holds, but if they keep it inside
the pads,
it's not called.
All right, it's on record from Charles Mann. I'm going to hold you to it. Mitchell floats in the pocket. Boy, he's been tough on the sidearm. Gets it out to Dillon and lowers a pad to the 27. They get the 10 yards back, and Malloy makes the stop. Log on to NFL.com for an in-depth profile of Dolphins running back Lamar Smith, who is having one of his best seasons in the National Football League. That's NFL.com.
It's about time for a pass to Mr. Warwick. What do you think, huh?
Dillon caught, working his way around the corner and dropped. Good pursuit by New England, led by Slade.
Great one-armed tackle by Slade. You don't one-arm tackle Corey Dillon, but Chris Slade is pretty strong. His back has been bothering him. I know that's one of the reasons why he has not been in the lineup on every play. Keeps coming in and out. But he is a solid performer for the New England Patriots. Been for a few years.
You saw Dillon comes out on 3rd and 10, and Mitchell in the shotgun. Sets and throws in traffic, in and out of the hands of Warwick. And so 4th down for Cincinnati. Ty Law.
Even if Warwick would have caught that, that would have been short of the first down. That's something, that's a rookie mistake. He ran, it was a deep in route. He ran about right around the first down markers. Then he has to come back to the ball. So you know you got to do that. You got to run it a little deeper.
Daniel Pope set to kick. His longest of 52. Hang time. Back at the 23 is Troy Brown. And Brown returns to the 32. So New England will have it when we come back to Foxborough. It's all tied up. There's Drew Bledsoe. 13-13. Well, look at that. Patriots, 8 games decided by 8 points or less this season. They stand 1-7 in those 8 games.
So if it's close, they don't win.
That's what the stats tell you. They like to turn that around. Bledsoe sets and fires in traffic, and boy, a hard lick, and now a late flag in and out of the hands of Terry Glenn, and it was Bean in on that hit.
I tell you, Bean is coming on. He's getting planted and pushing off the plant and coming up, making a couple of great plays. We saw a great hit in the last series, and this time comes up and strips.
Fine defense. That's the first down.
I believe what happened was he got there just a little bit too soon. There he is right there. He's going to come up, plant, and come back, and he got
Good
there.
call.
Got there a second, half a second before.
First down, New England to the ground. Spikes made the tackle on Falk, who gets the carry. Kevin Falk, second year pro out of Louisiana State, 2nd round pick back in '99. Hey, his college numbers, Charles, were absolutely phenomenal. He averaged 166 yards a game in college.
And he could do that in the pros. The problem is they're concerned about him handling the football and holding on to the football.
2nd down and 6 from the eye. Bledsoe, quick flip to the far side. And near a 1st down is Terry Glenn. Robert Bean. He is playing some football. They're picking on him.
They're going after him because he's playing off of Glenn, and I'm telling you, Glenn is going back into the huddle saying,
"Throw it again.
Throw it." There's space, and all it is a 1 step across the line, turn. Bledsoe gets in the ball, and he's running with it, and it's good for 6-7 yards every time. Whenever they want it, it's there.
Now, Terry Glenn's going to be around a while. He just signed a contract extension through 2007. 3rd down and short. Boy, Bledsoe stumbled again, catches his feet and throws. Incomplete.
And that should have been pass interference there. Chris Carter is all over the tight end, makes him stumble before the ball even gets there.
Rutledge, the player that's down, number 83.
And there's Carter. You see he's got his hand on his back, and he's all into him and makes him stumble before the ball even gets there.
Well, Rutledge being looked at. We'll take a break here in Foxborough. 13-all.
He got the wind knocked out of him.
4th and short for New England. Lee Johnson checks in for his 5th punt of the day, averaging just over 46 yards a kick. His longest of 50, Craig East at his own 10-yard line for Cincinnati. Johnson hangs it up. Yeast the fair catch at the 13-yard line.
Lee Johnson, the losingest NFL player in the history of the NFL. 150 losses out of 242 games. That's a heck of a tag to have on yourself.
I'll tell you, he's been a tremendous kicker for years. 16 years in this league. You know, he played 11 seasons at Cincinnati.
That probably has something to do with those some of those 150 losses.
You're right. Scott Mitchell and the Bengals back at it. Corey Dillon up the middle, tripped up at the 20. So a pickup of 7, could have been more, but Bobby Hamilton got him around the ankle.
And that was a game-saving tackle on his ankle. I mean, Corey Dillon was going to be off deep into the secondary, and then you're not going to tell me a secondary player is going to be able to stop him when he gets a head of steam going.
11 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Again, Dillon, the handoff, picking his way, finds a seam and gets the 1st down at the 26-yard line.
No, as a running back, when you start carrying the ball a lot, you start getting into a flow, things start happening for you. Even though he keeps coming in and out of the lineup, and I'm not sure if that's a new thing but when you get into a flow and a rhythm, you start making plays like this. You go one way, there's nothing there, you see it, you reverse field, you get a good block from a couple of people, and great job by Rob Holmberg staying on the prowl.
Brandon Bennett checks in. Mitchell pedals back, throws, connects. Battaglia to the 29. Well, Friday on CBS, Dr. Richard Kimball will be hunted by a hired killer, and you won't believe who's behind it. If you haven't seen it, you haven't experienced the all-new Fugitive. It's Friday on CBS.
Scott Mitchell hasn't gotten the ball to Peter Warwick in a while.
2nd down and 7. Well, the fresh legs of Bennett. Plows to the 34. Brewski and Slade in on the stop. You see Oakland on the road up by 10. And if you just tuned in, Jeff Blake out. Fractured and dislocated ankle. Tennessee's up 7 on Cleveland. And Colts have come back after trailing Green Bay.
And, you know, I picked Indianapolis to be in the Super Bowl.
That's why I said that.
They got to win those tough games on the road if they're going to get there.
3rd down and 2, and now hear this crowd at Foxborough. They know the importance at 13-all. Flag stopped the play, and they went to Warwick, but Hold on.
Ball start. 80 offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Now Warwick got a little half jump on him.
Well, he knew the play was going to go to him, and he hasn't had a play in a while, so he's excited about it and jumps off sides. These are rookie mistakes that veteran Terry Glenn will never make a mistake like that.
Well, you see the penalty, 6 flags on Cincinnati for 50 and 8 called against New England.
Cincinnati's coming into this game, they had 67 penalties, 628 yards. See the total yards, first half, second half.
New England coming with the blitz. Mitchell stands up, throws. Incomplete. That was a dangerous pass. Nick Williams nearly had it taken out of his hands by Bruschi.
Yeah, Ted Bruschi could have gotten that, and he was trying. The Bengals' offense has gone a little flat.
Those aren't boos. Those are Bruschi.
He works real hard. I like his play.
I tell you, he told us that last week's loss was just the low point in his career.
I believe it.
Pope set to punt at the 15. Troy Brown underneath at the 35.
Fumble.
Recovered by New England. 36-yard kick. Harris came up with it, a 3-yard return. So a timeout. Deadlock continues. 13-all. We'll be back. 8:29 remaining, fourth quarter. 13-all. Cincinnati and New England. Bledsoe back at work from the 38. Hands off to pass, tries the right side and picks up maybe 3. You know, it's getting chilly. I mean, it was chilly when we started, but yet it's getting later. That means colder in New England.
Let it go.
It does.
How about Bledsoe? I mean, you get warm as a football player, but you know, the hand, you could just, with that bad thumb, it could cause problems.
The problem that he's having is when you have to tape something and it's cold, you're cutting off the blood flow to that area. And blood carries the warmth of your, of your body. So that's what I think he's feeling right now.
Bledsoe on second down, feels the pressure, runs out of the pocket, throws, and complete. Smart. That brings up third down, and bringing pressure was Vaughn Booker. Stops the clock with 7:47 left. Yeah, that's right. People forget. I mean, that tape constricts, helps hold the tissue, the muscle together, the tendons, and yet at the same time it does constrict the blood flow.
I wore tape on every finger, and my fingers are a mess.
I don't look at
my fingers are a mess, I know. But anyway, I wore tape on every one of them. When it began to get cold, and I never wore any extra sleeves, but when it began to get cold, I put on gloves.
Play clock ticking down to 3, down to 2. Bledsoe, the keeper. Gonna be short. Gutty called to the 46, and Spikes made the stop. And that's not Bruschi, that's Booz this time.
When you have a 3rd and 5, and you go with a quarterback sneak.
With a bad hand, Charles.
With a bad hand. With the bad hand.
So all that takes is just a helmet, a face mask, just scraping that, and you got some trouble. 4th down. Cincinnati's going to get it right back. Lee Johnson in.
And that ball looks close to hitting a player.
Well, it's been touched, and Cincinnati covers up at the 13-yard line. Yeast with a smart decision. 43-yard kick. 7:03 to go. Welcome back to Foxborough. 7:03 left here in the fourth quarter. 13-all. Scott Mitchell with 208 yards passing today. Only the second time this season that Cincinnati has gone over the 200-yard mark in passing. Corey Dillon stopped and dropped. Boy, breaking through. Untouched, Willie McGinnis.
Willie McGinnis. Willie McGinnis down with a calf injury. Came back into the lineup today. Haven't called his name much. He's been close. Just makes a really nice move getting by Rod Jones and into the backfield.
Mitchell steps up and throws, incomplete. Leaning out was Yeast, and that stops the clock with 6:26 left. Well, Monday on CBS begins with an all-new King of Queens with guest star Florence Henderson, followed by the new comedy hit Yes Dear. Then don't miss Monday's #1 comedy Everybody Loves Raymond, followed by Becker starring Ted Danson, and Monday's #1 drama Family Law, now with Tony Danza. It's all here Monday on CBS.
The fans seem to finally be getting into this game. They realize they're in a football game here.
Well, Charles, they also know you stop Cincinnati here, they're going to get good field position as this clock begins to tick down in the fourth quarter. 3rd and 13 for Scott Mitchell at the goal line, sets up and throws. Big catch. Yeast. Was he down? They're going to point him down.
The ground can't cause a fumble. And that was Otis Smith on the coverage, and Yeast just makes a nice move, and more importantly, there's Yeast right there. He makes a nice move getting off. He's getting jammed at the line by Otis Smith, who falls down. And he falls down because he's trying to get a good jam and have tight coverage.
Boy, this tight game, remember that play. It was 3rd down. They pick up 20 and fresh downs. Corey Dillon picking his holes, stuffed, and now goes the other way. Mitchell's going to throw a block. He does, but Dillon, all that, he ran 25 yards.
At least.
Maybe picks up 1, chased out by Malloy.
You know, he's trying to make something happen, and I can understand that, but he's getting to the point now where, you know, he's running laterally, and, you know, maybe that's why he has to keep running in and out of the lineup.
You know, Mitchell, you mentioned he's 6'6", 240. Now, he's a linebacker-sized guy.
Look at this block. All you have to do for an effective block is to get in the way of somebody. He got in the way of Willie McGinnis.
No gain, 2nd down. Dillon. Boy, it's tough running north-south. A pickup maybe of 2. Chad Eaton in on the stop.
Both defenses have done a really good job today of, you know, stopping the run. As we talk to both teams, that's what both of them talk about, and that's how defenses are built. You stop the run and give the teams one way to go. Look at the time of possession for the Bengals. They've dominated with 73 plays.
Only 48 for New England this afternoon on their home field. 3rd and 7, less than 5 minutes left, and they're up on their feet in Foxborough. Scott Mitchell in the pocket, sets and throws down the sideline. Contact and flags. Warwick and Law battling.
And Law has his hands up like it wasn't him. But what he did, what Ty Law did, is got in the way and obstructed Peter Warwick from getting
automatic first down.
He obstructed Warwick from trying to get to the football. All he had to do was turn and make a play on the football himself. Right there, Peter Warwick. Watch when the ball gets in the air. He never looks up at the ball. Just stays in front of Peter Warwick, and he's done that twice today. He's got to play the ball, and then he wouldn't get those pass interference calls.
A 21-yard penalty and a flag before the snap.
Ball start, 60 offense. It's a 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Rod Jones caught, so take it back 5. Now, so far in this series, as the clock stands at 4:41, it's the 20-yard pickup on 3rd down, and now the pass interference by Law that keeps this drive moving for Cincinnati. 1st down and 15. Mitchell chased and dropped at the 40.
And he dropped the football, but the Bengals recovered.
Greg Spires bringing pressure, and Brandon Bennett able to jump on the football.
We haven't called Greg Spires' name today, but he does lead this team in sacks with that. That was number 6 for him, and just goes right by. You know, you've got to be able to block somebody, and Brandon Bennett, the running back, does not even block on that play. A lot of times the running backs have some protection coverages as well.
2nd down, 23. Mitchell stumbles, catches his feet, throws to Dillon. Dillon makes a move, takes a hard lick down at the 48-yard line by Brewski.
That was good hustle by Bobby Hamilton, the defensive end. Rushes the quarterback. The play goes down the field, turns and runs down the field. All coaches love hustle by their defensive unit, especially the defensive line. They're big old guys. He's 6'5", 280 pounds, running up and down the field. That's pretty good.
Boy, footing seems to be a problem. You saw, Otis Smith. You saw Bledsoe stumbling. Now Mitchell. Third down. Mitchell in the pocket under pressure. Throws and incomplete.
And Brewski had his sack and could not get big old Scott Mitchell down. And Mitchell looks like he might be hurting a little bit, no?
It'll take a while to untangle. Yeah, he is. He's coming up limping a little bit.
And Teddy Brewski coming around the corner there, unblocked, gets right to Scott Mitchell and cannot get him down. They had two players had legs. Henry Thomas and Teddy Brewski had a leg apiece of Scott Mitchell.
Mitchell trying to rub out that left knee, and the punt by Pope. Hang time, fair catch taken by Brown at the 14-yard line. 37-yard kick. For a quarterback, Charles, nothing worse than being stood straight up with a lot of bodies around.
And he's upset. Scott Mitchell is upset. He is very, very upset that he may not, and we'll have to get word, but he may not be able to go back in there. See the grimace on his face. And they are moving his knee around.
Well, New England with 3:08 remaining with the football. Play action. Bledsoe steps, go deep. Incomplete.
Great pass. Excellent coverage by Robert Bean. Excellent coverage by Robert Bean.
Going to pick on the rookie, and they went to another rookie from Angelo State, Shockmaine Davis. I'm going to put him on my all-football name list. Shockmaine.
And Shockmaine almost shocked the house with this. I mean, he almost caught that. The key there for young wannabe football players watching this, you want to catch the football with your hands, not with your body. If he'd caught that with his hands, he'd have came down with it. It hit his body and bounced off.
3:01 left, second down 10. Bledsoe steps up and fires. That's been there all day. Both sides of the field, Terry Glenn, and they're going after Robert Bean.
Absolutely. You got to test the rookie. He's held his own. He's held his own. He's done a great job. He's given up the short stuff. See how much space is in between them? He's given a lot of space, and he got turned around there. But he's going to come up and make the play. So he's going to give you the short stuff. You're just not going to he's not going to beat him deep.
Hey, Terry Glenn, 10 receptions, 113 yards, his first 100-yard game this season. Glenn, boy, they're just trying both sidelines, and it's working. Hawkins had him by the tail, and I mean by the tail.
And Artrell Hawkins is doing the same thing, giving too much space. And a lot of this is the design of the defense. As you see, the 11 receptions, 130 yards. Great day. But a lot of this is designed in the defense, but you can play a little tighter in that defense.
Bledsoe got the handoff barely off to pass, and Copeland was right there to make the stop.
Copeland all in the backfield.
Jermaine Mack and Chris Carter.
That brings up a second down, and Bledsoe's going to walk off as we hit the 2-minute mark.
That's a 2-minute warning. 2-minute warning.
2 minutes remain. We're tied up at 13. And stay tuned. Coming up next year on CBS, final round coverage of the Franklin Templeton shootout. You saw Anna Vinatieri there looking on as New England trying to drive for an opportunity for that winning field goal. The receiver went down. It was Terry Glenn, incomplete. And that stops the clock with 1:56 to play.
New England Patriots, what they need to do is get the ball down around the 20-25 yard line. They don't need the hold. They don't have to get into the end zone. Minute 56.
Vinatieri already with 2 field goals a day. He's got pretty good range. His longest this season, 43.
Remember, they were charged with a timeout when they challenged the play, so they only have 2 timeouts left.
3rd down, 14. Bledsoe over the middle, caught. Troy Brown, 1st down and more to the 35-yard line.
And Artrell Hawkins was completely turned around, didn't know where the ball was. Only need about 10, at least 10 more yards, 15 to be comfortable.
1st and 10 from the 35 of Cincinnati.
Vinatieri has made his 9 consecutive field goals.
Bledsoe pedals back, throws, hits Troy Brown, coming down the sideline, and is popped at the 25. Now you're talking about, Charles, as you mentioned, Vinatieri's range. 1:11 to go, and he takes the jacket off.
Now, they don't want to get in there too quick.
Bledsoe, 17 career 4th quarter comebacks. Can he cook up another? They're on the move.
I think it's being brewed up right now.
It's brewing. It's on the kettle. It's boiling. You know, and 6 of his 11 touchdowns have come in the 4th quarter. They're going to go on the ground, pass. And Patrick passed with a 5-yard gain, knocked down by Corey Hall.
That was a great call. You got a minute 11 on the clock. You want to eat up some of that. You call a running play. The clock continues the run. So you're getting position right now. You're running it in the middle, making sure it's a straight-on shot.
Scott Mitchell having his left knee taped. And the Bengals will call timeout.
30-second timeout.
A 30-second timeout with 45 seconds left in this game. It's been a battle. Offensively, I think Cincinnati will look at this game no matter the outcome. I don't know what, we'll have to find out what Scott Mitchell's status is, but Akili Smith able to watch this afternoon, the veteran. And Mitchell came through with a tremendous football game. Well, tonight on 60 Minutes, why didn't a cop know before he shot and killed an African-American that the man he killed was also a cop? 60 Minutes tonight, followed by an all-new episode of Touched by an Angel. And then Academy Award winner Mercedes Ruehl searches for her parents in Hallmark Hall of Fame's The Lost Child. It's all here on CBS tonight. Getting back to quarterbacks, Drew Bledsoe playing again through pain.
Playing through pain. Didn't look all that great, but hey, he's helping his football team try to get a win.
Bengals showing blitz. They come with it. Stacked up, maybe a yard loss.
Timeout, Cincinnati. That's their 2nd charge timeout.
Cincinnati will burn another timeout.
If New England goes on and makes this field goal, what quarterback will we see? And if you only have, 15 or 20 seconds left, a cold Akili Smith coming in, what can they hope for? He hasn't thrown a football, been sitting on the bench the whole game.
Well, Scott Mitchell wondering what if, and here comes Bledsoe, who's done a nice job. Terry Glenn and Troy Brown both with terrific afternoons. Glenn 129 yards receiving, Brown with 110. Last time they had 2 100-yard receivers, Ben Coates, Tony Simmons. They did it against the Colts back in '98. 3rd down 7 with 39 seconds left. Bledsoe goes to the end zone. Flags.
They're calling that on Rodney Heath, pass interference. The Bengals are over there trying to say, let's call it offensive pass interference.
Let's see.
Pass interference, 22 defense. The interference occurred in the end zone. The to place the ball on the 1 yard line.
They're going to place it at the 1, and Rodney Heath whistled for the flag.
And as they're going down, a lot of hand checking. They'll let some of that go. I didn't see it. I didn't see it at all. Rodney Heath was going for the ball. He was different than Ty Law. He had his head turned around looking, trying to make a play on the ball. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a bad call.
This play has gone 9 plays, 84 yards. And now a chance to, they won't have to worry about Vinatieri with a field goal try. It's 1st and goal with 35 seconds left. Bledsoe under center.
I don't know if I would have called that with a quarterback with an injured thumb.
Well, a little push and a few shoves in that pile of helmets. You know what? They are going to plan to use Vinatieri.
I was going to say, we still might see him. Lost yardage, lost about 2 yards on that.
Cincinnati. That's their 3rd and final team timeout. It's a 30-second timeout.
Cincinnati will burn their final timeout.
No, I don't like counting on the, and this is this is like an extra point, but you get down that close. I don't want to use my field goal kicker. I'm sorry. Too much can go wrong. The hold, the snap, the kick, there's too many elements involved.
My feeling with Belichick, I'm wondering, just shy in the fact that Redmond's out with ribs, Falk has fumble problems, and Patrick Pass, who's ran well though, just a rookie. And you wonder if just the confidence in the run game, in the sense of his backs in this situation as well.
Well, let me say, they're all NFL football players. They were picked by their respective teams. You pick somebody, you got to have some kind of confidence in them.
I think this crowd even wonders.
This is a gun-shy football team right here.
Boy, listen. And they're going to give it to Vinatieri to win it. With 12 seconds, they're going to let it run down.
Hey, this is what they pay this guy for. Yeah, I understand all that, but hey.
Timeout, New England.
Bottom line, though, Charles, I think, is the Belichick, the win.
That's their 2nd charge timeout. It's a 30.
But this is no give me.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's exactly what I'm talking about. There's a lot of elements in a field goal, kicking a field goal.
Well, you're right. How many times is you have to handle it? Snapper to holder.
Right.
Holder then makes the placement. Then you got, of course, blocking assignments that have to be made, and then the foot has to meet ball.
And we've seen some slips out here on the field. As the night starts to come and it gets a little cool out here, the field has been a little slick. But that's why you kick it. If they had a few extra seconds, they only have 6 seconds left. You have a few extra seconds, you kick on 3rd down, you get an opportunity to kick it again.
Well, it belongs to Vinatieri. He's hit from 38 and 21. Lee Johnson, the holder. Good snap, good hold. Kick is away. Good. And Bill Belichick looks like a genius.
Hey, all you got to do is win, baby.
Win, baby, and they did. 3 seconds left, 16-13. On the field goal, the 3rd of the day for Adam Vinatieri.
The snap, the hold, the kick. Textbook. That's 10 in a row. 10 in a row field goals. And Belichick, sigh of relief. They have another game in 4 days.
They'll go on the road, Detroit, on Thanksgiving. How about the turnaround?
New England.
Look, excellent game-ending drive. 12 plays, 81 yards, 302. A little help with a pass interference. I don't believe was a pass interference, but anyway. But 4 days. So Monday, he'll give the players off tomorrow, Monday. Tuesday, they'll come in and have 1 work day. Wednesday, they'll travel. And then they play the game on Thursday. If they would have lost today, it would have been really a tough pill to swallow and probably could have just cashed in Thursday. But now this gives them a little bit of momentum. There's the Iron Man on this team, Bruce Armstrong. 207 games played. You know, he was released from the team and didn't sign back until in July after the coaxing of Drew Bledsoe and a lot of his teammates trying to get him to come back. And he said, you know, I'm going to come back because not a lot of offensive linemen get a chance to put their names in a record book. And I can get in the record book for the Patriots.
Well, he's done it. Vinatieri, the squibber. Picked up at the 32-yard line, and that's going to do it. So New England. And there's the Iron Man Armstrong and Bill Belichick making his way across the field to shake hands with Dick LeBeau. 16-13, New England over Cincinnati. We take you back now to our New York studios, and here's Jim Nantz. Jim.
Craig and Charles, thank you very much.